Is AI going to replace filmmakers? That's the question a lot of people are wondering and fighting about. And here's my take. Listen carefully. If AI is bad, then it's no threat to anyone. If AI is good, then it's only a threat to those who don't learn to use it. Just so you know, this episode is sponsored by MusicBed, and they kindly provided all the music. Thank you. And I mean good as in does a good job. I'll repeat, if AI is bad, then it's no threat to anyone. It's garbage, useless. If AI is good, then it's only a threat to those who don't learn to use it. To me, it's simply a tool like any other. I don't think it's gonna be taking over the earth anytime soon. I don't think it's conscious. I don't think any of that stuff. I think it's just a tool. Maybe later that won't be the case. Right now, that's what it is. So what we as filmmakers need to figure out is it actually doing a good job? Or is it just plain bad, a cheap party trick? And even if it is good, it doesn't mean you have to use it. People still shoot on film, even though we have digital, but it does mean that you might lose out in some way if someone else using AI can do a better job than you, or faster, or cheaper. So, to test if AI is actually good, we're gonna try 3 different ways of using AI in the post-production of the short film AI Has No Soul that we just shot. BTS episodes 1 and 2 are already out. Number 1, can we use AI to generate the video clip of like the punchline of me and Peter in these Matrix-like pods? Yeah, that one's gonna be hard. Number 2, can we use AI to help us in the sound design? That sounds more reasonable. And then number 3, can we use AI to help us with the motion graphics / stylization that we need for this short film? Let's see how AI does, starting off with the hardest one. We need a very specific shot for the short film. And originally I was thinking like, cool, okay, we'll fill up a bathtub, we'll film me and Peter kind of like floating in them in the fetal position kind of thing. And then we'll use CGI for like the actual like pods, and we'll just like composite them together, and that'll be great. But isn't it more fun that the short film is literally called AI Has No Soul, that we attempted to use AI to make this shot instead? Don't get mad at me now. That's what we're gonna try. If it does a great job, cool. That's pretty interesting. If it sucks, that's also interesting. There's so much variety in a bad way, very little control. It's so different every time. All right, we're gonna take a look at, is AI good? This is Spencer. He's my new editor. Don't worry, Isaac is still around. We just need more help because we're doing like hour-long videos. How much experience do you have with AI?
None.
Perfect.
Very little.
Love that. No, that's good. That's good, because I think that's where most people are. And I spent quite a bit of time playing with different AI tools and software on my year off last year, just because I wanted to see where stuff at. So let's talk about what I think is the best workflow to try to generate something. For like filmmakers, you want to generate a video clip. This is what I think is the best workflow. So I'm going to try to walk you through it, and you guys can learn at the same time.
All right.
So once you start doing AI, you'll realize really quickly that it's pretty bad right now. It's not that good.
That's what I've seen, and like that's why I haven't really learned, I think.
But it can be quite interesting when you start combining different techniques. So if right out of the box, when you try to do something, you're like, this just isn't that useful. But once you start using like, if I do this with this tool and then this and this, then it actually kind of starts being like, that might actually be usable now. So here's what I think is like the main workflow that most people should be doing right now if you're trying to generate some sort of video clip. Now, this is like a generic workflow. If you want to do something very specific, you might have to do something totally different. And every program's a little bit different, but here, bear with me. Here's what I would do. Do you know what Midjourney is?
Yeah.
Okay, so Midjourney is where I would start. So as you can see, I've generated a bunch of cars here. It is the best at making cinematic, cool images, but it only does photos, right? or an image, doesn't do video.
Okay, so Midjourney, it's the goat at photos.
Yeah, it's the go, for sure. You can make super cool stuff very easily, and it's quite fast even. I've played around with some character stuff. Here's some monsters I was generating at one point. Just very interesting stuff. Like, my brain cannot come up with this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But let's say you actually want to try to generate something specific. Like you are trying to get, what I think would be interesting is if I could make a Star Wars movie and I know very little about VFX. That would be a dream. If AI could fill that hole, I would love it. So let's say we're trying to create this like futuristic HQ base, evil villain layer, home. I don't know what this is. So we want this. We have these really cool images, and like for me, I could not create these.
No.
I don't know about you, but I could not create these. And we can make them wider, we can expand, we can get different versions of this if we kind of like it, but like give us some different variety. We can do that in Midjourney. What I would do then is take this photo, this image that Midjourney creates, I would then bring it into one of the many video generation tools. For example, we have Runway ML, we got Luma Labs, we got Haluo AI, we got Kling AI.
Oh my gosh.
There's so many of them. It's actually ridiculous. But I would take that photo and then bring it into one of these tools, and then we want to essentially make it a video clip. So
gotcha.
Now this is Runway ML, we have that same image, and now it's making that video clip, which is like...
Wait, did it add the foreground?
Yeah, I'm not sure why, I think it might have just added these by itself. I didn't do anything. Here's another version of it.
That one's good.
Like, it's quite impressive. If you start pixel peeping, you're definitely gonna find mistakes. I was playing around with these futuristic homes here, brought them into Runway ML, and again, that's pretty interesting.
That looks like a real drone shot to me.
Yeah.
Like on first glance.
Yeah, like it's quite good. Now we're getting somewhere, right? If I try to just do this in Runway or any of these video generation tools, it probably wouldn't look that good. You might once in a while hit on something, but it's like so hard to control. But now we were able to kind of generate the scene, and then now we bring into the video generation AI tools, and we say like we want it to push in slowly or push out or fly up or kind of rotate around. Then once we have this video clip, it's actually not very high quality. If like we go in, it's like it's like 720p at most.
I can see that as you were like scaling it up, but small, it looked great.
Yeah, and so like it's also, you can see kind of like it's artifacting, like it's just like kind of, it's not super smooth. There's like some weird stuff happening.
Like some flicker.
Yeah, exactly. So then we would bring that into Topaz, which kind of like, there's a bunch of things you can do with Topaz, but Topaz would essentially make it higher quality. None of these tools can make 4K video. That's high quality right now.
So this is outputting 720 if you were to save this?
Some programs will do 720, some 1080. 1080 is the highest you'll get right now.
And then you bring that
into Topaz and then up-res it or make it higher quality or add a little more detail or sharpness to it. So the workflow is Midjourney, you create the scene, the look that you're after, then you take it to a tool like Runway or Haluo or Kling, and then you make it move, and then you take it to Topaz to make it higher quality. That's like the basics, I think, right now of like if you're trying to generate video using AI.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm on board with that.
Okay. And you've never done this before, right?
No, I've made some photos before, but like even then, like you have to be kind of good at prompting.
Yeah. So I will say that leads me to a good point right now. Even if this stuff is really powerful, it doesn't mean that it's easy. I think a lot of people right now think like, oh, you just like, what, you can just like go in there and say, hey, make me this thing, and that's it? That has no soul. Like, okay, it is actually really hard. These tools are not that good, and it still takes creativity and knowledge of like, well, do I want it to be moody? Do I want it to be low-key or high-key lighting? Do I want it to be filmic? What?
Yeah.
Like, there's a whole bunch of, not just like, what's the thing I want? Do I want it to be a foggy lens? What are like the extra things?
Yeah.
And that's where you become really the director of like, what do you want? And then on top of that, all of these programs are a little bit different, and like some of them do a good job, some of them don't do that great of a job. So this is a different program now. Same scene.
Yeah.
It's different. Look at it's like it's like warping. So clearly, Minimax Hailuo AI did not do as good of a job on this scene.
Yeah.
Now it might take another scene and be incredibly good. Like, what is this garbage? Like, that's unusable, right? Like, it's just like, I'm gonna go over here and I made some new things for you. Like, that is not good, right? So you kind of have to know like what program is good at doing what. So for example, I played around with, I kind of want to see like what kind of characters I could create. Another big problem is how to get like consistent characters, but like, can we even get a character looking good? And so like I created these.
That was great to me.
Yeah, these are very interesting, and look how like I've expanded on them. So the original generation was like about there, and I've expanded. So like you can keep expanding and make them wider and wider.
Okay, so wait, how many prompts did you have to go through to like actually get something that looks this good?
Well, let's see. So my first prompts were here. It made something like this, and then I just kind of tried again, and then I liked one of them, so I said, give me more of this version or this style, and then it gave me more of that style, and I said, give me more of this other style also. So then we got more. A lot of it's just experimenting. You don't really know what you're gonna get, and so it's like, I kind of like this direction, give me more in this direction.
Right.
And then I was like, okay, give me more in this direction. And then I'm just like, okay, I don't really, these kind of look cheesy to me. I actually like this look much better. So, okay, like let's do some more like high quality versions of it. And then I expanded it, made it a little wider. Then I took it into Runway, which did a really great job on that wide scene, right? Those spaceship like looking.
Yeah, yeah.
Now check this out. Horrendous. Like so bad, like
That's funny.
unusable. Like what is happening here? Like
Looks like the 0.5 lens.
yeah, like what?
On a phone.
Look at this. Check out this gun. Like what happened to the gun? Like what? Another face pop? Like what is happening? You know? So often you're just like prompting and trying, and just nothing is working. This one's like was almost there, and then it got all weird. And so like, okay, Runway didn't do a good job of this. So then I might go to a different program and try it out. So you kind of understand what I'm doing here, right? It's a lot of experimenting, a lot of just like throwing stuff at the wall, hoping
And
it turns into
switching
something,
programs.
switching programs, and it's like one step closer. And it never generates like something really, really good. If you like put it small and stuff, then like, you know,
Yeah.
it's kind of cool. Okay, that's not a great start. Let's give AI a little break. We gotta actually also edit this thing. And the first thing I need is a song that really pulls together this edit. We need something with soul. And I think about music so differently for videos now versus when I started filmmaking, especially in how I find my music. So let's go to MusicBed, for example, here. Beginner Matti, starting out filmmaker Matti would have been like, oh, I love this type of genre of music. I love, I want a cinematic song, or I want a indie song, or I love electronic, so I'm gonna start with electronic. Wrong. Well, maybe not wrong, but that's not what I do anymore. I think about the mood or feeling I'm trying to convey. Why? Well, I think that music should be used as a way of enhancing or telling your story. And when you start with a mood or some of the attributes that you want in the song versus the genre, you might find a song that's absolutely perfect for your project in a genre that you would have never expected. Case in point, I found the perfect song for the first half of this short film. So I knew that I wanted the beginning to feel a little bit like quirky. I want it to be a little bit like something's up. We don't know what's up, but something's up. So we're gonna start off with quirky. And I think the mood, if I had to, guess, like we're here, me and Peter hanging out, just hanging out. I think it's kind of a chill vibe. So let's start with chill. Now, I am gonna break my rule right away and go with a genre, but it's because of storytelling. So because this short film is about AI, I want the songs to have a little bit of electronic flavor to them. So I'm gonna choose the genre electronic, not because I want the genre electronic, that I love that genre, but because it fits this storyline. It's a background song. I don't want it to be too prominent. So I'm gonna help things a little bit and go with ambient music just because I think that's gonna be the best. I don't want like lyrics and singing or anything like that. Now comes the hard part of you still gotta listen to a bunch of songs. So let's listen to some songs that come up here. Right away, this doesn't feel right. It's too chill, it's too like serious. I don't like that at all. Let's go with another one here. Nah, not the look I'm going for or sound I'm going for. Nah. Now that could be a little bit better for the end part of the short film, but not for the intro for sure. Nah. Interesting, but not enough there. Same this one, not enough. Oh, that's the same song. This feels a little too like happy-go-lucky, like somebody's in love. Too dance. No. Nah, just can't picture this in the background. It's too, again, like kind of dancey. Then I got to this song. And this is the perfect example of what I'm gonna talk about. I got to this song. Very weird in the beginning. This is an ambient electronic folk song. I would have never, ever, ever guessed that a good fit for this edit would be a folk song. I would have never started with that genre. And this just has that perfect, like, quirky, something's up, something's a little bit weird, but it's also kind of chill and just like fun, you know, like having a nice time. I really feel like when you're looking for a project, try and start with the mood or the feeling. What are you trying to convey in that part of the video? Even if it's just like a YouTube video, what mood or feeling do you want the audience to have while they're watching that section? That is what you should be thinking about, not whether you want it to be like hardcore or electronic music. That doesn't matter as much as the feeling that it's conveying. I would have never thought that a folk song would do well for this edit. If you want emotion-packed music that has soul and feeling to help your story connect on a deeper level, none of that generic stuff, check out MusicBed. They have a 14-day free trial right now using the link below. Thanks MusicBed for sponsoring this episode. So now we're trying to get this shot, right, of me and Peter in these Matrix pods.
Yeah.
So, of course, we start with
Mid-Journey
again.
Okay. So we got to start with like some sort of good prompt to get that photo.
Yeah, so I started off, here's kind of my journey so far. I started off with like sci-fi futuristic matrix pods that would house humans in stasis state, moody, cinematic, 32K quality, super realistic, but filmic. There's my amateur prompting. I'm not saying I'm a prompting specialist expert.
It's got good results though.
Yeah, so like these are interesting, but this is not, like it's misunderstanding what I want, right? It's giving me like space travel pods. I'm looking for like Matrix, like you're in the fluid, like they're harvesting, you know,
Give us
your
more
power.
Goop.
Yeah, exactly. And none of these, and so I'm kind of like doing a little slightly different, like, okay, let's see if I can just do 2 Matrix pods, because that's really what I would like, is me and Peter, you know, and then it comes up with all sorts of like, I'm just prompting, trying things, seeing if anything is close. So far, nothing is really like even close.
Maybe that one. That one's kind of cool.
Kind of cool, but if somebody saw that, would that signify like, oh, they're harvesting their souls for power?
No, yeah, true.
That doesn't work. We're getting some like, okay, I guess that's still not good. Okay, then we're getting some like, hopefully you might have to blur some. Now we're getting into some like some like creepier stuff, which I think is like these pods, for example.
Human organs.
Yeah, there's some like random mush in there. But like that's starting to get closer now, and so now we could like use that to generate more. So I'm just exploring here, so you can actually see I then generated 4 more from that, like give me some like similar but different stuff. I still feel like that wasn't quite exactly what I'm looking for, but it's pretty close. Look at these.
What? Dang, that's crazy.
So like you get all sorts of stuff. Now these, for example, this is kind of interesting. Okay, maybe the human here kind of ruins it, but like these are kind of interesting.
Yeah.
This could
Different
be,
take.
Yeah, this could be something. So we're getting closer and closer. Then I tried some like totally different ones, and that I kind of also like this vibe.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
This is more sinister and dark. This is more like abstract of the idea. This isn't quite what I was hoping for. You won't be able to see us in these unless you could generate another image, which is like, you know,
like
based on this scene. Yeah, give me a close-up of a pod of this. So that's gonna be a little bit trickier.
Dang, you really have to be willing to trial and error in this process.
It is a lot of trial and error. And that's when you realize, and like each generation takes quite a long time to make too. So it's not like, just like, done. It's like so much time and effort still, and refining and kind of knowing what works and what doesn't. I also did try just like straight text to video.
Okay.
No using Midjourney to get the idea or the frame.
Okay.
It's just give me pods, and it's interesting.
That's trippy.
Like this could maybe work.
Yeah.
Given the context, you have to kind of like squint a little bit and imagine that there's people in these. But it's kind of cool. This is not very good.
No, yeah. Like if they were used in sequence, like if you had a wide shot and then were able to cut to a close up.
Yeah.
But like you were saying, it's hard to generate like a theme, all in one theme.
It's hard enough to generate one to try to create consistency. Another problem again. Just some other generations. And this is all the same sorts of prompts of like, give me matrix-like or futuristic pods. There's so much variety in a bad way of like, no consistency, no like.
Yeah, it's just so different.
It's so different every time. And so you could put the exact same thing in and it comes up with like, what is this? What are we making? Like cotton balls being made here? What are we looking at here? Like it's so trippy and weird. Again, like
that's crazy looking.
Creepy, weird, but not usable in any way, obviously, for our project again.
Also, what?
Yeah, the AI video clips still aren't looking too good. But AI for sound design, this is good. I've been using software called 11 Labs. Basically, they have a whole bunch of different sound-related AI tools like text-to-speech and voice changer. But what I like to use is their sound effects. And this, literally, you just type in something and it'll generate your sound effects for you. So, for example, boots walking on wood, generate. Takes, like 20, maybe 30 seconds at most to generate them. These are AI-generated footsteps. AI-generated boots on walking on wood. Or what about machine breathing heavily in a creepy way, which is something that I need for the short film. I thought it'd be an interesting thing where we can kind of hear the AI breathing on some of the shots. Make it a little bit creepier, a little weird. All right, done. Okay, that sounds like more like a person. Doesn't quite sound like breathing. Ooh, interesting sound. Still not quite accurate. That's pretty creepy. Let's try it again. We'll just modify a little bit. Breathing, machine breathing in a creepy way. Let's just try that. That's pretty creepy. Oh, that's good. Sounds like some sort of machine breathing. Okay, that was a little not what I was expecting or wanting. That sounds maybe more like a ghost, but this one. that has this like machine breathing sound. The reason why I love this is that it's really fast to just be like, hey, give me a swoosh, give me a rumble, give me a deep bass, whatever. But then also a lot of times you don't know exactly what you're looking for. And so with this, you can just describe the sound that you want, and then AI will generate you sound effects that you can then use. And if you don't like them, change the prompt a little, generate some more. I actually find that this, for me, it might be the best way to get sound effects for my videos right now. Yes, there's some sorts of sound effects that are kind of like easy to find everywhere, but there's a lot of sound effects that are really hard to find or even figure out exactly what you need, and this is so fast and so handy. So number 2, AI for sound design, 100%. To the point where I feel like if you're not using something like 11 Labs, I think you're actually missing out, and you're probably way slower than you could be. Plus, you won't get as good of sound effects if you don't use AI, which is like, that's kind of crazy to say. So here's where I try to take that like moodier, this sinister vibe pods, and then trying to give them some movement. This is Luma Labs, not usable, right? Like, it's just 2 out there, like all of a sudden a new pod shows up.
No.
That one's, there's definitely like a couple seconds that you could probably use in there.
There's moments in this one.
Yeah, can't use that, that's for sure.
That's pretty good though for just feeding it an image and then...
Yeah, just an image, and then like push in is all I pretty much prompted these. I find a lot of times just kind of give it the camera movement and then like try to go for it. That same image that we earlier saw, trying to make video out of it. These ones are a little bit better, right?
Yeah.
Like there's actual water movement and
Totally.
like there's actually stuff going on. I would not know how to make this in like After Effects or something like that. So like it is interesting. It's just, again, the control is so, and then I can't just be like, yo, put me and Peter in these.
Yeah.
There's
you have to
nothing like
composite. It's like an and.
Yeah.
And even you said like move super slowly.
Yeah.
And this is, in my opinion, this is a fairly fast move.
Yeah, again, very little control. Like even though it's like it has camera controls, still very little control. Now I tried to feed this an image of me.
Okay.
And then as the character, and then I said to put me into a like Matrix style pod.
Okay.
This is what it generated.
That's crazy.
So, in fairness to the AI, it was an image of me like in a helicopter. So I have the little thing. But I just found this hilarious. Like the microphone of the headphones is like leaking water. It kind of looks like me. Like if you had to guess like who is that, you'd probably say me.
Yeah.
But it also doesn't look like me. And then like
that's crazy.
But it's like very...
The neck thing's kind of cool.
It's interesting because it's so like, it feels so powerful yet so dumb at the same time. Because of the lack of control and like you just never really know what you're gonna get. So I really haven't been able to create anything so far that's like what I want. After hours and hours and hours. Now there is one tool called Kling that can actually take multiple images.
Okay, that was my next question.
And then put them into one. Now, it might be because I'm not paying for this one right now, but it's supposed to give you free credits. This has already been going for like 2 hours, and it still says it's gonna take 3 hours to generate this one thing. Now, it could be it's putting me in the back of the line because I'm not a paying customer right now.
Right.
But this is what it is. It takes forever. It's so much like testing and trying and whatever. I'm sure these tools will get easier and easier with time, but just because they're able to do stuff doesn't mean that it's gonna be like a cheat code to make easy movies or something. You're gonna need to know how to use it, and you're still gonna need a story on top of it. Like
100%.
figure out what you actually want in the first place.
Yeah.
What do you feel about AI right now?
I feel like I'm pretty aligned with you. Like it could be helpful and I see where it could be cool and where it could go. But right now I just feel like there's too many clicks that have to happen. And like, just seems like I don't have time for that.
Yeah. I think a majority of this is just like party tricks right now still.
Yeah.
And it's not really usable. So far, I haven't seen any super good short films made with AI or anything that like that's actually like on par with something that like high-end filmmakers would make if they actually have like CGI budget and can film stuff. Nothing has come close to that. And so we're not there yet, in my opinion.
No, I know, like, that being said, like, Coke did do some AI stuff, but with CG.
Yeah.
So it's like you start with a base, and then you have to bring all this manpower to fix all the flaws. To be like, 2 seconds if this is good, but what if we put a bunch of Band-Aid CG around it?
And that was still a terrible commercial.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it was not a good commercial.
More of a party trick.
Yeah, it was a party trick. It was, the whole thing was like, oh, it's made with AI. But it wasn't a good commercial. I think we're a long way from this being really useful, but at the same time, it's gonna be useful someday, for sure.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's like saying like, oh no, I refuse to use the newest tools in Premiere because they have AI stuff behind, like nobody does that, right?
Yeah.
But for some reason with AI, people are kind of making this distinction of like, no, this is different. This is like killing the soul of filmmaking, and like, this is not it. And I agree there's like problems in terms of how are they getting this stuff.
Right.
Like I'm pretty sure my videos have probably been ripped off 1 million times already, and they're stealing my stuff.
Yeah, like it's just learning.
Yeah, it's just learning off mine. I'm not getting any pay or anything from that. So like there's definitely a lot of issues with this whole world of what these companies are doing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if someday a company can help me tell stories that I would need $100 million to tell those stories, and do it for $1 million, that's pretty incredible. That's what I'm hoping for.
Totally.
But for now, we got this.
I think it's just the willingness to learn.
Yeah.
You can just like keep your ear down to the AI and see what's coming up. I think that's the only thing that we can do right now.
Yeah.
And not just turn our backs on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I'm not using AI in my workflows right now pretty much ever, unless I'm like forced to, which like I did it for fun on this short film.
Yeah.
But this is not good enough yet. But I'm keeping tabs on it all the time to see at what point does it get good enough? Every iteration I'm seeing, they're adding a little bit of like, oh, you can control this now, or you have a little bit more control, a little bit more control. Camera movement was a big deal at first. Now everybody has camera movement. Next, it's like having a character and also the scene and then camera movement, or being able to afterwards edit what you got and say like, actually move this guy over there, or make them go that way or whatever. Then it starts being more interesting. So I think it's a tool that will be valuable right now. This is not putting anybody out of business, that's for sure, or like stealing anybody's job. Although this is pretty good.
That guy's coming for your job.
That is Matti 2.0. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna try to make a better version of the pods. Let's see if we can get something going.
Yeah, I can only hope for the best. Good luck.
But it's kind of funny if it's real bad too. It's kind of fitting that it's just not good. All right, full disclosure, we did run out of time on point number 3, but interestingly, we did use ChatGPT for sort of some of the motion graphics. Spencer, explain to us what you did.
I just asked ChatGPT to tell me how to recreate the UI design and animation, and
For ChatGPT.
for ChatGPT specifically.
That is the most meta thing I've ever heard.
But it gave me the expressions, the hex codes, all like the timing and everything that would be useful inside After Effects to actually like recreate the pulsing dot, the way the text comes up. And so I just followed the steps, and it was easy.
We needed to recreate the look of ChatGPT. He went into ChatGPT, asked how we could recreate that in After Effects, took that information, brought it in After Effects, and that's how we made like the animations of like the chat coming in and stuff.
It's that easy.
That's kind of crazy. I didn't expect us to actually get very far on this third point, but that's kind of a success, I think.
I think it's a success.
I haven't heard, like, I've heard people doing that for like coding, but I haven't heard of anybody doing that for something like After Effects. Is that something you've done before, or?
I've done it once or twice before just to see if it could just like give me style or give some sort of expressions to finish something, and it worked. And in this case, it was really helpful because we were trying to recreate the look of like AI and this futuristic kind of thing. So, yeah, I'm gonna call that a semi-win.
That's a win. That's a win. All right, I was not able to generate a good clip with Spencer, but I bring good news. I had a bit of a breakthrough. So I came up with an idea of kind of mixing real world and AI. I had this mask for a different project, and I thought, what if I take a picture of myself with this mask and then use AI on that? Let's see what we can come up with.
How does it even, just like right over the head?
Yeah, let's take off your hat, yeah.
All right.
We're good. Do big eyes like I did, like crazy eyes. All right, that should be perfect.
Can I take this off now?
Yeah, for the AI, you have to wear it all day, unfortunately, while it's generating.
And so I did that, and then I brought it into Luo, which I think that's how you say it, which has the ability to reference a subject. So you can actually take a photo of yourself or generate an AI character and then bring it into here and then give it a prompt and then generate some video clips. I might blur this out, the final product, the one that I think I might use. But let's just check out some of these. Okay, this one's, it doesn't look like me. It's like I'm like 50 years older or something, 20 years, 30 years older. But that's interesting. That is by far the closest to something usable for what I'm trying to make. Again, that looks like me a little bit more. That is impressive. I'm like in a liquid. It's weird. It's like, it's exactly what I need for this. I just want it to be this creepy, weird clip that's the punchline. Okay, this clearly didn't work out. I tried to kind of add like an AI robot in the background. That doesn't look like me, didn't include the mask. That's not good. Okay, here's another one. Again, AI, very little control. You just kind of have to like roll the dice and hope you get something. This one is hilarious. Clearly did not work out. Here's one where that's interesting. That's like really, really interesting. Not good for what I want, but that's kind of crazy. I don't, that's like me being blasted off to space and I'm just a head in the future. I don't have a body anymore. Okay, this is like in a lot of ways bad. Like if you look at the eyes, it's all weird and stuff. My face looks weird. But look at all that stuff. In order for me to I don't know how to do visual effects. For me to make something that's even remotely close to this, like there's no way. And like, could I take this and like composite my face better into that, like actually film a clip of myself and then put that into there? That would make this totally believable. The idea was me in a Matrix-like pod. That is a take on it that actually could work. It's weird, it's bad in a lot of ways, but also that is very impressive. There's another one, like, again, this doesn't quite work for what I'm looking for, but like there's a person that walked by, there's liquid, the camera moves forward and it's like doing really well with all the machines around and everything. Like this is very, very interesting. Again, we're still kind of like early phases of like, well, how much can you actually use something like this for? But we're starting to see like, oh, this might actually be like combining things that you're filming and then using AI to help you tell stories. That is for sure gonna be a thing. Great end. I got jacked.
Okay, how creepy is the clip?
Extremely creepy. Yeah, I don't like it at all.
Now it's time to
But it
make you
looks great.
creepy.
But it looks great.
I think I got the shots that I am going to use for the short film, but we are definitely not there yet where this is like usable all the time. This is still so hit and miss, and even when it produces something that's like interesting, it's still so off. There's no way to refine things. It's hard to keep continuity if you needed to get a few different shots from the same thing. That's like, it's so hard to do all that. And then the quality is like absolute garbage compared to what we're used to nowadays, 4K and all that. Like this is probably 720 or 1080 at most. The idea that AI is gonna be a tool for us filmmakers to use to enhance our storytelling and to use it in different parts of our workflow, like sound design, that's already here and it's only gonna keep growing. So is AI a threat to filmmakers? Even though it's starting to be pretty good, I still think you need a conductor, you need a director, you need somebody who knows what they're doing and is using all of these different tools to tell the story that they want to tell. It's not gonna do it all for you. You can't just be like, yo, make me a short film called AI has no, like that's not gonna happen. Maybe I'll eat my words, but I can't see that happening anytime soon. Like, we are so far off from that sort of thing. But it being a tool that we filmmakers can use, that already is in some ways a thing and will only continue to grow. So I wouldn't be scared of AI. Test it, try it out, see if it helps you become a better filmmaker. If not, it's trash. Throw it in the trash bucket. Check on it later. But yeah, that is us. Trying to use AI in the post-production of the AI Has No Soul short film. Keeping it meta. I hope you guys enjoyed all this. And next episode will be the actual short film. Very excited to finally get that out to you guys. Finally. All right, bye.